Hi, I'm Charles.
And I'm Caroline. We got married in June and now we're sailing around the Atlantic Ocean for the year. Come join us as we document our journey.
In this episode, we leave Puerto Mogan in the Canaries for Cape Verde. We have a fantastic passage downwind and I catch my first big fish. So, we've just slipped our berth in Puerto Mogan and we're heading to Cape Verde. So my dad and Caroline on board as ever. Bye guys, take care! Here we are saying goodbye to our friends Raphiam of Amble and Cerulean, who we've met earlier on in our voyages. Good to see you! So it's the afternoon or early evening of day one. We have left the marina Puerto Mogan at midday. It's now 6 PM or coming up to 6 PM. Caroline's just had a little nap. She's come up on deck. My dad's just chilling there. One reef in the main on a broad reach with a full janur. We're initially in the wind shadow of Gran Canaria, so we motored due west until we got to the western edge of the islands, and then suddenly the winds went from 2 to 20 knots, so we got some decent wind, and we've been on heading southwest ever since. The fishing lines are out as usual, and as usual I've not caught a single thing, but my fingers are crossed. We're heading on quite a good speed, 6.5 to 8 knots. The water was lovely and blue, but unfortunately the sun's just gone down. It's getting a bit late. So here we've just left Gran Canaria, got Tenerife there. We are heading all the way down to Cape Verde, and it looks like we've got 750 miles to go. Got the hydrovane on, it's doing its thing, holding our course very well as ever. Our ensign is looking a little bit worse for wear, a little faded, so as a little treat we might put our new one on for the crossing, see how that fares over 2 weeks.
Just going into our first night of the passage, sun's setting, looking beaut. And we have got the main with one reef, and then we have the pole ready. Probably just before nightfall we're going to goose-wing, go a bit more downwind so we can go with the swell a little bit more. Got a little friend who's just come to join us and have a little bit of a rest on the boat.
It's the morning of day 2. We're still heading a little bit southwest. So we're about to jibe the main, bring it over to the starboard side, maybe further janur or maybe the other board reach. The sun is just rising over there behind us.
Salmon.
So the brought us word, Charles has rushed to the back of the boat and thinks he might have a fish. So our dinner plans of beef rendang might be changing. What did you say, Charles? No. No fish. So it's the morning and just got up. It's some dolphins decided to visit us, which is awesome.
The afternoon of the third day, so it's Wednesday, we're crossing to Cape Verde. Caroline's just gone for a shower, my dad's just having a nap, and I've just woken up from a nap. The boat is doing very well. There's about 18 knots of wind, we've got full sails up. Hesitating whether or not I should reef the Genoa once, but the boat is handling it and we're not sort of overpowered or crabbing too much through the water. We've got the hydrovane doing its thing. We had the autopilot on last night as the wind dropped, so we just motored most of the night. We've got a few degrees of trim on the wheel, just under 10 degrees, probably 7.5 degrees, so I think with a reefed main, one reef in the main would have less trim, so I might stick that in after lunch if the wind continues, and certainly will reef before evening because it'd be prudent to do so in case the wind gets up at night. Apart from that, it's a lovely day, sunny, batteries are nearly full. We're going to run the water maker after having had our daily showers, or every other day showers, which I'm trying to impose. We'll have a few litres in the tank free to put with our fresh water, and hopefully that will serve us well for the next few weeks. Good shower, Cara?
Very good.
Was the water nice and warm?
Very hot.
We ran the engine all last night, so now's the time to do it. I think I'll go next. So we actually just reefed the mainsail after I spoke about reefing it later. It's one of those sayings, you know, once it's time to reef, the first time you think about it. And it's the same case now. The second I put the camera down, the wind just continued to be at the late teens and the boat was just a little bit overpowered. And now we've reefed already, the boat feels a lot better. So it's another example of when you think it's time to reef, it's already time to reef. So I'm glad we've done that, and Caroline's just putting the ropes all back in their baskets, and the boat is still doing very good speed, but now obviously with a slightly reduced sail area. So I'm glad we've done that. We just had a lovely dinner of curry, which I forgot to film because we're so excited to eat it, but now we're having some apple and I'm having a healthy chocolate biscuit. Those other three weren't me either. Caroline might show you the sunset. It doesn't come out very well on the GoPro, but we'll try. So the sun's just risen on the fourth day. Last night it was a little rocky, a little wavy. We put a second reef in the main, but we've got full Genoa out. The hydrovane is still doing its thing. Where is he? There he is. And I'm just about to let the fishing rods out. I'm still not caught anything though. The world's worst fisherman. Apart from that, it's a nice morning. We passed 3,000 miles last night, which was nice. So we'll have a little celebration this afternoon. Suddenly the rod started screaming and we had a huge fish on the line. How do you use the swell to know?
Is that okay like this then?
Yeah.
We've tried to slow the boat down. Slow it down some more.
Like you get the gap.
What, sorry?
It's in the passage berth, right?
Far left, by the pink, by the 60.
after what seemed like hours, but was only about 3 or 4 minutes, we managed to get the fish to the side of the boat, and I prepared to gaff it. Many thanks to my dad, who managed to film us land this fish, as Caroline and I were pretty preoccupied at the time. As we were getting him over the side, he fell off the gaff, so I had to sort of rugby tackle him and manoeuvre him into the cockpit. Here we go, Mahi Mahi on board. So we finally managed to dispatch the Mahi Mahi, and it's a beautiful fish.
There it is.
Oh look what he's caught before.
Oh my god. Oh, gross.
What?
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Sardine, anyone?
Careful owner.
We've gutted him, we're gonna, or sort of gutted him, we're gonna try and fillet him now. So what I'm going to do is start at the head and then come round the back of the fin, then down to there. So, I'm being left-handed, just keep the feet out of the way. Okay, then we're going to start coming around here. Called the collar, I think, and it's quite good, certainly on a tuna. It's excellent meat. See all this meat here, this is going to keep us, and then look at these there. We're going to go down the back of the fin there, and we're going to go down the middle and carve out. Okay. And then just down here. So it's not the best fillet in the world, but it's so big. It's quite forgiving. There's still lots of meat on it.
That's your first big fillet, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, that's one big fillet, and then what we do is cut them up. I think there's pin bones in there somewhere, I can feel. That's very second, third fillet even. Decent amount of meat in there.
Today we are celebrating two things. What are we celebrating, Charles?
Overnight we hit 3,000 miles, which we've done since July, which is when we first stepped on board. And this afternoon we caught a dorado, which we've now gutted and filleted, and we're about to have for what's going to be likely many meals to come. So, double celebration.
Lovely
Pause
bottle
for
from
some-
Lizzie and Dougie. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks.
Martin is
Lizzie.
poised with glass in hand.
Try and see if we can get this to land back on deck. Do you have a glass ready, please?
You're
Cheers.
very good health. You're very, very good health.
Cheers.
Thank you
Thank you.
for having you on board, and congratulations. So how many weeks of married life now?
3.
Too many.
So we are pan frying the Mahi Mahi fillets with a bit of olive oil, lemon juice and garlic and a bit of salt and pepper. So I actually could use a bit of butter, couldn't I? Well, there's plenty more to try, so we'll see how this gets on. Here is our first dinner of our first supper of Mahi Mahi and champagne to celebrate the first fish caught and 3,000 miles sailed with Karen and I and my dad on the way to Cape Verde. It's a nice setting sun. We are gull winged with one reef in the main. It's the morning of day 5. We've just had a nice breakfast of French cereal, Weetabix, and we're looking at lots of flying fish which are jumping out of the water around us and flying off. We found a flying fish on the foredeck this morning, but he was dead, but we're not going to cook him because we have so much fresh Mahi Mahi to eat up. So it's the afternoon of the 5th day on Friday. The waves have been quite blustery, today, and we've got a reef in both the main and Genoa. The waves have been close to 2 meters today. We've seen loads of flying fish popping out of the water. Making very good progress, surfing down the waves at around 10 knots, surfing down normally around 7. But as you can see there, the swell pushes us off fairly off course, which then tends to back the Genoa, which is just done now. It's about 20 to 25 knots of wind. I think tonight we're going to put a second reef in the main, so we're a little bit calmer conditions, but during the daytime we're happy to make good progress south. We've all had our every other day shower, all sporting our new clothes. Tomorrow we'll be running the water maker again. Nice little routine going on. And we've got Mahi Mahi for dinner. We're going to have them in wraps, I think. It's the evening of day 5 and my dad has cooked some very nice Mahi Mahi steaks, and we're having them with some wraps. Lettuce, cucumber and lemon, and Kara's got some garlic mayo. We've put a second reef in the main in case the wind comes up overnight, and hopefully it'll be quite an uneventful night. So we're about 40 miles off the coast of Sal of Cape Verde. So Caroline has got today's duties or honours of changing the courtesy flag, which is currently still Canaries, and she's going to change to the Cape Verde courtesy flag. Touch the new courtesy flag, hoist away. It is is it for day 5 or 6? Day 6. No, day 5. And we're making landfall in Sal this evening. Caroline's just cooking us some burgers using her new leather aprons to avoid any burns. Very good idea. We're having some cheese. We're taking a break from Mahi Mahi steaks because we actually froze a lot of them, thinking we would only get through a few steaks, but we enjoyed them so much we ate them all up already. So we'll slowly defrost them over the next week, but we'll eat up the red meat and other things which are going off before then. So we have arrived in Palmeria, Mandela, at 1:30 this morning after quite a tricky night approach, and now we are celebrating our longest passage of just under 850 miles. Actually, we'll work out what it is now. Cheers. Well done, team. Very good day. So we just worked out that the total passage was 843 nautical miles, which took 5.5 days, which gave us an average speed of 6.3 knots. So pretty happy with that. In the next episode, we explore the islands of Cape Verde, do a spot of fishing, and we prepare for our departure across the Atlantic from Mindelo.